Peace, family. This video right here is about demonic possession and democracy. Now, with that being said, we're going to first start with demonic possession, then we're going to go to democracy. Not only am I going to break down how demonic possession is real, but I'm going to give an actual living reference of somebody that we all know to have existed on this planet Earth. And I'm also going to give the reference of the spirit that he conjured and show you another point in time in history where this spirit was documented to have existed. In order to make the beyond a reasonable doubt case that it's no way in hell this person could have not been exercising or displaying the characteristics of a being that predated them by thousands of years without conducting the frequency of that being. Now, with that being said, let's get into the word. Let's get into the etymology of the words. Demon comes from the Greek word, the Greek word deus, which literally means intelligent deity. Possession comes from the Latin words potis, P-O-T-I-S, sedere, S-E-D-E-R-E, which literally means capable or able to sit in. So the word demon possession, the phrase demon possession, literally means an intelligent deity that is capable of sitting in your vessel. Now, that being said, if you go watch my video titled Hollywood, I break down step by step how they prepare you in regards to the pedophilic or homosexual ritual in order to split your psyche into two personalities for the for the demon, in order for the demon to inhabit your other or your new, let's say, profile psyche that is now available to them. So with that being said, I'm not going step by step in this video. You can go watch my video Hollywood for that. But with that being said, demonic possession is very real. And there are certain entities that feed off of your energetic frequency. So with that being said, we're going to break down, the reason I'm going into democracy is because I want to break down how the matrix was set up in order to enslave souls to the point to where they either become so desperate to get out of it, or most people are in their lower selves, and your greed and your ego and that which you suffer from but feed will influence you to do what is called sell your soul by the same intelligent deities who set up this illusionary matrix in the first place, so that they can inhabit your vessel in order to temporarily experience something that that they shouldn't be experiencing, because it's not their turn to incarnate on this plane. So that being said, we know that America was founded by Masons. We know that all of the goddamn presidents have been Masons. So with that being said, Masons practice occult and Luciferianism. This is not for debate. This is a fact. So with that being said, the whole origins of Masonry is non-African. This is a fact. Okay? Now, why is this important? Because the matrix, the dollar, was all created by people who worship demons. Every goddamn year, all these goddamn Masons go to the goddamn Angel Grove and conjure up spirits. They do this on a monthly in their individual lodges, and on a yearly, they come together and do this at the goddamn Cedar Grove. So that being said, family? When we talking about selling your soul, what is selling your soul? We know that your soul doesn't have a dollar value. Selling your soul is allegorical to this actual experience and interaction that I'm going to break down. What happens is, an entity may not be able to incarnate on this planet Earth for whatever reason, because planet Earth actually doesn't have to let you come back. Everything is frequency. You might have did so much shit on this planet that your frequency is so negative, planet Earth will not allow you to come back or circumnavigate the ley lines in order to inhabit a vessel. So what happens is, what a person does is they say, and you can go watch my video called Ritual Summoning Spirits. I also break down the different souls that possess certain knowledges in regards to their thousands of years of existence that they hold that we can't access because they're not in our spectrum of light. So you can go watch that video for more details on the subject. But with that being said, what happens is once you take the oath, right, and you reach a certain status, you might say, okay, I want to sell my soul for a better living condition or luxury or whatever it is you personally want that actually has no meaning. So what happens is the entity says, okay, I'll allow you such a status within a democracy or the realm I've created in exchange for you, your vessel. So I'm going to use a rapper as an example. Rappers have fans, right? Fans do what? What does your fan in your house do? It blows wind, aka projects energy. So if I'm rapping about sex, right, I got my whole crowd or the entire low frequency, and they're my fans. They're projecting me their energy. And it is at this point in time when these entities are inhabiting these people, these vessels, these beings, and these entities are absorbing the frequency that they would not be able to experience because they rightfully are not supposed to be inside of a physical vessel. So in exchange for you to allow these demonic ass spirits to inhabit you, they allow you a higher seat within Babylon, aka America, aka this goddamn wicked ass society that the Illuminati has constructed. So with that being said, this all is going to tie back into democracy. So just hold on, family. Now, because you might be thinking, what does this have to do with democracy? I'm finna make my point. But with that being said, demonic possession is being done every day. We see it. Now, even when you're dealing with celebrities, once they pierce the once the vagal process is done, and like I said, watch my video on Hollywood for a deeper understanding on the vagal process. Once this process is complete, the entity is now able to sit into the being, and the being now has dual personalities, such as you see Nicki Minaj. She's now goddamn Roma, Martha, and all of these goddamn Roman deity spirits, right? Beyonce, then she's Sasha Fierce. She already admitted that something magically takes over her and does something that she's not naturally able to do when she gets on the stage. So with that being said, it's happening. The occult is being practiced right in front of your face, and your children are actually worshiping demonic vessels as idols. So with that being said, bringing this back on point, I'm going to use Michael Jackson as my reference, and I'm going to use Michael Jackson because Michael Jackson is known around the world. So it's not like I'm naming somebody that don't nobody know. Now, Michael Jackson conjured a spirit after he took his Masonic oath. He conjured a spirit known as a Aphrodite. Now, go look this shit up. A Aphrodite was a being that existed in Greece. This is all documented. A Aphrodite was a being that Greeks acknowledged to have existed around their time when Europeans inhabited Greece, and the Aphrodite would molest children, but it will also run up the street and do erotic ass dances and scream in high-pitched sexual manners. So that being said, Michael Jackson, and this being, like I said, go look it up, Aphrodite. It has been documented to exist thousands of years ago. Now the spirit of this being still walks this plane. So still walks this earth plane. So Michael Jackson, after taking his Masonic oath, conjured the spirit of this being. And this is at the point in time when we see Michael Jackson do the 360 in his life. Now, I'm not taking nothing away from Michael Jackson. He always could sing, he always could dance, we know that. But his behaviors were not always the same. Michael Jackson was not always grabbing on his penis on stage, humping and screaming in a high pitched frequency. Michael Jackson was not always being sexually provocative. That came in later in the game, after Michael Jackson got initiated and took his oath. So, Michael Jackson conjured up the spirit of the Aphrodite, and that's when you begin to see him express the characteristics of the Aphrodite while he was on that motherfucking stage. And then he started bleaching his skin. Now he's magically in trouble for touching little boys. But with that being said, what happened to Michael Jackson was Michael Jackson was being overtaken by the entity that he allowed to possess him, aka demonic possession, Deus Potus Seder, an intelligent deity that is capable of sitting in your vessel. So with that being said, go look up Aphrodite, see that it factually existed, and then look at the characteristics of the Aphrodite, and then go look at Michael Jackson ass, and then study Michael Jackson, and go look up when he took his Masonic oath, and you'll see it all right before your face. Now, family, this is not no rocket science shit. You can go on Amazon right now and order a goddamn book. They got a list of motherfucking demonic entities in there, how to conjure them, what they want, and what they'll give you in exchange. Now, I'm not telling y'all to go do this and start selling y'all motherfucking souls because life is too hard. But what I'm telling y'all is this is an actual practice. It is not a secret that this country was predicated upon occultism and Luciferianism, and is being practiced right in your motherfucking face every day. Now, what does all this have to do with democracy? Because democracy comes from the word demon, which once again means intelligent deity, and krasi comes from the Greek word kratos, which means rule. So democracy literally means a demonic rule. So the matrix, aka money, aka banking system, is the illusionary distraction that is being provided for you by an intelligent deity that you cannot see, but has been conjured up by the founding wicked ass Masonic fathers of this country, which keep all the souls on this planet Earth constantly energetically being molested and being forced into reincarnation because our spiritual ascension is being suppressed by this demonic ass rule. This is why nothing is natural anymore, because we cannot exist in our natural states, because as I stated before, demonic parasitic entities feed off you when you're at a low level of vibration. So the democracy is actually a fictitious political ideology meant to keep your spirit out of tune with a higher frequency. So with that being said, money, going to work, all of this stupid ass shit is not supposed to exist. This is all a bigger part of the scheme of occultism to keep you spiritually ensnared in what is called the Matrix. The Matrix is actually a fictitious system that we are willfully being tricked into submitting our free will in regards to engaging into this stupid ass system by demonic entities. So the powers that be, the elite, the Illuminati, people who run this motherfucking world, run this world predicated upon them practicing the occult. So just like the Haitians did voodoo and called upon the ancestors to help them fight these wicked ass beasts and get out of slavery, the Europeans are doing the exact opposite. They're calling upon these demonic ass spirits to help them rule the motherfucking world. So with that being said, you don't go from a caveman to the motherfucking goddamn building a spaceship going out of space. Okay? Think about it. If we taught Europeans everything they know, how to read, write, bathe, clothe themselves, grow food, motherfucking they just stole the Nene dance last month. If we have been their mental teachers or their intellectual teachers their entire existence, who the fuck is teaching them how to go out of space? Who the fuck is teaching Europeans how to create diseases? Who the fuck is teaching Europeans how to manipulate the entire world? So with that being said, demonic possession is very real, okay? And the Bible is an occultic book, and the Quran is a secret occultic book. And this is why a lot of Christians and a lot of motherfucking Muslims get they silly ass possessed. Because when you accepting, listen to this. When you say, Lord, I accept you as my Lord and Savior, and Jesus is the Messiah, listen to this. Messiah literally means lizard king in demonic text. Demonic text is the alleged text that was supposedly used to translate the Egyptian hieroglyphics, to which all languages allegedly derive from. But the demonic text in its root word also comes from the word demon. Demonic, demon, demon, deus, intelligent deity. This is a fictitious linguistic system which was created by occultists in order to usurp the vernacular system of people around the world to enslave and ensnare you to an alpha beta frequency. Go watch my video, Alphabet Frequency, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So with that being said, all of this shit is tied in. All of this shit is one big spiritual spider web, and you got to get the fuck off the web because the demonic spider is coming to suck your motherfucking fluids out. So with that being said, family, understand that all of the books, all of the religions are nothing more than undercover satanic ritualistic practices. So, motherfucking, even in Christianity, communion, eating the flesh, drinking the wine, is actually undercover cannibalism, okay? Eating flesh. If I told you right now, if I die right now, would you break a piece of my skin off and eat it and drink my blood? No, that's cannibalism. Motherfucking Muslims is flagellating their goddamn self. They got a damn, not a holiday, a damn ceremony or ritual where they say that they believe, just like Christians say they born in sin, Muslims believe that they demonically possessed and they gotta beat the damn demon out themselves. This is a torture ritual. Goddamn Jews is fucking sucking the goddamn baby penis as soon as it come out the womb. This is a pedophilic ritual. So that being said, all of these religions are meant to ensnare you in some form of satanic ritualistic origin. And you are willfully playing into it. So to sum this video all up, family, demonic possession is real. Demon comes from the Greek word deus, which means intelligent deity. Possession comes from the Latin word potus sedere, which means capable of sitting. Demonic possession is an intelligent deity that is capable of sitting in your body. Yes, this is very true. If you go watch my video titled Hollywood, I break this down step by step. If you go watch my video titled Spirit Diet, I made a year ago, I break down how certain foods lower your frequency so that certain parasitic entities will be attracted to you and can feed off you. This entire matrix, this money system, this having to go to work, was created by people who are well known to be Masons. These goddamn founding fathers were well known to be Masons and practiced the occult. You couldn't even be a slave owner if you wasn't a Mason. And these occultists conjure up spirits where they get certain levels of information from in exchange for the souls of these people the sheeple that they're leading to the slaughterhouse. AKA, this is called a democracy. Demon and Kratos, aka intelligent deity and rule. You are being ruled by an unseen intelligent deity. This is why nobody knows. If you pay taxes, what's the motherfucking name that your taxes going to? You don't know. Who the motherfucker that your water bill money going to? You don't know. Who made these clothes? You don't know. And then we want to talk about lowering the level of a people underneath democracy. Europeans have always had a democracy because they've always practiced Luciferianism and occultism. But even with your clothes, right? I just did a video, chakras and spinal energy. Your pants tag is always stopped at your coccyx tailbone. Now, why is it important? Your coccyx tailbone controls your root chakra. These signs and seals on the back of your goddamn clothes are satanic and occultic. Go look this shit up. So you got satanic occultic seals that are actually blocking your root chakra. Then the tag on your shirt has a satanic and occultic seal on it. That's blocking your goddamn fifth chakra, which is your throat chakra, which is located at your cervical spine, which is where the Kundalini energy would would leave the 33rd vertebrae and go into the brain and release neuromelanin into the the brain, so that it can stimulate your dipple antennas and activate your psychic ability. So your Kundalini energy is literally being stopped from circumnavigating your entire spine from the root to the goddamn cervical by occultic seals that are being placed on the tag of your pants and the tag of your shirt. And then you drinking fluoride water to calcify your pineal gland because they can't put a seal blatantly on your goddamn head because that'd be too goddamn obvious to stop that energetic frequency. And then you wonder why we live in a world where everybody's weak, wicked, devilish, demonic, and don't got no fucking morals. Because we live in a democracy which controls everything, and you motherfuckers willingly are giving power to somebody that you don't even have never even fucking met because it's a spiritual entity. And your clothes are carrying sacred occultic symbols which are actually blocking your spiritual ability and ascension, as well as your Kundalini energy from even circumnavigating your spine as an African being, which will help you ascend back into your solar connection with the cosmic frequencies. So that being said, family, we gotta wake the fuck up. This is not a physical, egotistical war. We do gotta do something physically to a certain extent, but this is a spiritual war. If we want to win, we got to win within. Now, I'm not telling y'all, this is not no Martin Luther King speech. I'm not telling you to be peaceful or pacifist. But what I'm saying is you have to change your psychological being and your spiritual being internally so that we don't even emit a frequency that attracts such entities in our life. Because a lot of motherfuckers is possessed on a minor level and don't know it. I've factually proven in my Spirit Diet lecture, because I have a video on YouTube called Spirit Diet, but I also have a lecture called Spirit Diet. I've factually proven through actual technology that liquor actually opens you up to be possessed by spirit. They actually use an electrosomnographic scanner where they have people drink alcohol, and 60% of the motherfuckers who drank the alcohol became possessed by spirits and didn't even know the shit. So with that being said, family, you are just opening yourself up. Everything you do is a ritual. From the time of day you got up, to the clothes you wore, to the color of the clothes you wore, to the goddamn liquor that you drunk, to the name of the liquor, to the person who made the liquor. This is all Masonic and occultic ritual that you are practicing in, and you are upholding the democracy. And not only are you upholding it, you're making it stronger, because internally you're becoming weaker, which is making you more wicked. So you have to become righteous and uphold your motherfucking self. And if you need some help on how to elevate your chakras, go watch my video titled Chakra Activation, as well as my video called Righteousness. So that being said, we have to upgrade ourselves internally and emit a higher elevation of frequency, so that by default the universe reconfigures reality to a manner that is a proper reflection of who we are internally. Because right now internally we are all demons, whether we want to admit it or not. And we got to go back to being angelic beings. So with that being said, family, raise your motherfucking vibration. If not, you will continue to be feasted by these parasites. Because a lot of y'all get mad and don't even know why you're mad. You be depressed, don't even know why you're depressed. Because you have an entity that's feeding off your motherfucking ass, and that's keeping you in that state of existence. And until you psychologically and internally change your situation, that won't change. And if it's somebody outside of you that's causing the situation not to be able to be changed in a righteous manner, you need to do whatever the fuck you need to do to get that person or those persons out of your life. However you got to do it, so that you can change your environment to a more positive manner, healthy manner. Remember, the definition of environment is the circumstances which influence a living organism. All you motherfuckers live in a democracy. You live in a demonic environment, and you wonder why we have become demonic organisms when we were originally the children of God. So with that being said, I love y'all, family. Peace.